Admiral Kyung-ho returned to Earth's solar system with the largest fleet he had ever commanded. 50 massive ships filled with mining equipment, processing stations, and military escorts. The Corvallian Empire had decided to expand operations to Earth's moon and the asteroid belt. Impressive mineral deposits throughout this system, reported his science officer as they approached Earth. The moon contains rare elements we can't find anywhere else in this sector. Kyung-ho nodded with satisfaction. Earth had become one of the Empire's most valuable mining operations. The dead world below continued to provide wealth, while its primitive survivors slowly died out. Everything was proceeding exactly as planned. Dr. Sora prepared her latest report on human populations. Her orbital scanners showed the expected decline. Only 35 million humans remained, living in increasingly small and scattered groups. Their technology had regressed even further. Many groups were using stone tools and living in caves. Remarkable how quickly they're declining, she noted to her assistant. Most post-apocalyptic species take longer to reach complete technological collapse. What Dr. Sora's scanners couldn't see was the truth hidden beneath Earth's surface. The humans hadn't declined at all. They had disappeared underground, building a civilization that surpassed anything the Corvallians had ever created. Commander Hyun-soo stood in the central command chamber of New Seoul, a city built entirely underground. The chamber was carved from solid rock and reinforced with materials stolen from alien mining operations. Holographic displays showed the status of hidden bases across Earth. Population transfer is complete, reported his aide, Yoon-hee. All surface survivors have been relocated to underground facilities. Phase 3 is operational. The numbers were staggering. Instead of 35 million dying primitives, Earth now housed 120 million humans living in sophisticated underground cities. The declining population, Dr. Sora observed, was actually families moving from temporary surface camps to permanent subterranean homes. Engineer Nari had overseen the construction of the tunnel networks that connected these cities. Using alien drilling technology improved with human innovation, her teams had carved passages through the Earth's crust that spanned continents. A person could travel from New York to London without ever seeing the surface. The Asian network is complete, Nari reported to Hyun-soo. We can move personnel and equipment from Siberia to Indonesia in 12 hours. The American network will be finished next month. These weren't crude caves where desperate people hid from radiation. They were marvels of engineering that made Corvallian cities look primitive. The humans had taken everything they learned from alien technology and improved it beyond recognition. Dr. Young-min walked through his new laboratory complex, a facility that stretched for kilometers beneath the ruins of Tokyo. Where his first lab had been built in a subway tunnel, this installation rivaled the research centers of advanced galactic civilizations. Fusion. Reactor 7 is online, reported Dr. Mi-young. Power output is stable at 115% of alien specifications. Young-min smiled. Human engineers had solved problems that Corvallian scientists didn't even know existed. The aliens built their technology to work reliably under normal conditions. Humans built their technology to work perfectly under impossible conditions. What about the manufacturing centers? Young-min asked. Production is exceeding all projections, Mi-young replied. We're building ships faster than we can train crews to operate them. The manufacturing facilities were humanity's greatest achievement. Hidden beneath Earth's surface, these factories produce spacecraft and weapons using alien technology, enhanced with human innovation. Every design was smaller, faster, and more efficient than its Corvallian equivalent. Military Commander Chan Woo oversaw the training of Earth's secret army. In vast underground chambers, millions of human soldiers prepared for the war that was coming. They trained in zero gravity, practiced boarding alien ships, and learned to use weapons that exceeded anything in the Corvallian arsenal. How many combat-ready personnel do we have? Hyun-soo asked during his daily briefing. 2.7 million fully trained soldiers, Chan Woo replied. Another 5 million in advanced training, all equipped with Mark 7 armor and quantum rifles. The numbers should have been impossible. How could a dying primitive species field an army larger than most galactic empires? The answer was human determination combined with alien arrogance. While the Corvallians focused on extracting wealth from Earth, they had ignored the planet's greatest resource: human potential. Every person they dismissed as a dying scavenger was actually a scientist, engineer, or soldier, preparing for humanity's emergence. Dr. Youngmin made the breakthrough that would change everything. In his laboratory beneath Tokyo, he discovered how to turn Corvallian technology against itself. Human-designed computer viruses could infiltrate alien networks. Human-built electromagnetic weapons could disable Corvallian ships without damaging them. "We can take their fleet intact," he explained to Hyun-Soo. "Our viruses will shut down their computers while our EMP weapons disable their engines. They'll be helpless but unharmed." This was crucial to humanity's strategy. They didn't want to destroy the Corvallian fleet. They wanted to capture it, study it, and use it to contact other civilizations across the galaxy. Nari's engineering teams had also made incredible discoveries. They had found ways to make Corvallian ships faster and more maneuverable. Human pilots training in underground facilities could outfly alien crews using their own technology. "The physics are simple," Nari explained. "Corvallian pilots learn to fly in peaceful conditions with backup systems and safety protocols. Our pilots learn to fly in combat situations where one mistake means death. We're just better at pushing machines to their limits." On the surface, a few thousand humans maintained the illusion of a dying civilization. They lived in carefully constructed camps that looked desperate and primitive to alien scanners. These actors played their roles perfectly, ensuring that Dr. Sora's surveys continued to show declining human populations. Jinnu had become one of these surface actors. He led a group of survivors through the ruins of Busan, collecting scrap metal that was actually communication equipment for the underground network. To alien observers, he looked like a desperate man searching for food. In reality, he was a colonel in Earth's hidden army. "Status report from underground," his concealed radio whispered. "All systems operational," Jinnu replied quietly. "Surface surveillance shows no change in alien patrol patterns." The Corvallians had established permanent bases throughout Earth's solar system, exactly as Hyun-Soo had predicted. Their confidence made them careless. They saw no threats in a system inhabited only by dying primitives. Admiral Kyung-ho received reports from across his expanded operation. Mining quotas were being exceeded on schedule. The new lunar facilities were producing rare elements ahead of projections. Everything was perfect. "What about the human situation?" he asked Dr. Sora. "Continuing decline," she replied without concern.
"Population down to 35 million and falling."
"Technology has regressed to Stone Age levels. They pose no threat to our operations." Neither of them realized that beneath their feet, 120 million humans were preparing for war. The underground cities hummed with activity, as weapons factories ran at full capacity and training centers prepared the largest army in human history. Commander Hyun-Soo looked at the final preparations with satisfaction. Phase 3 was complete. Humanity had become invisible, hiding in plain sight while building the tools needed for their emergence. Soon it would be time for Phase 4, the revelation that would shock the galaxy. The ship emerged from hyperspace like a silver knife cutting through black silk. Admiral Kyung-ho stood on the bridge of the Corvallian vessel, watching the blue-green planet grow larger on the main screen. His purple skin gleamed under the bright lights as his 4 eyes focused on what the long-range scanners had found. Earth looked like a wound in space. Smoke rose from the planet's surface in thick, dark columns. Red spots glowed where cities burned. The northern continent showed massive craters where nuclear weapons had fallen. The oceans reflected an orange sky filled with ash and radiation clouds. "Another dead world," muttered Dr. Sora from her station. The scientist's tentacles moved quickly across her instruments, gathering data about the dying planet below. "The third one this month. These young species always destroy themselves before they can reach the stars." Kyung-ho nodded sadly. In his 300 years of service to the Corvallian Empire, he had seen many worlds like this. Species that discovered nuclear weapons before they learned wisdom. Civilizations that chose war over peace. It always ended the same way. "What do we know about them?" he asked. Dr. Sora pulled up the data on her screen. "They call themselves humans. Bipedal mammals, average height 2 meters, carbon-based biology. They had a global war that lasted 5 years. Nuclear weapons, biological warfare, climate destruction. Population dropped from 8 billion to maybe 50 million survivors." 50 million? Kyung-ho was surprised. "Oh, species that went through nuclear war ended up with far fewer survivors. That's more than expected." "They're scattered across the planet in small groups," Sora continued. mostly living in ruins of their old cities or in caves. Technology level has dropped to pre-industrial. They're using basic tools, burning wood for heat, growing food in contaminated soil. The Admiral watched the planet slowly turn below them. Here and there, small lights flickered on the dark surface. Campfires, probably. The last humans huddled around flames waiting to die. Recommendation? He asked. Standard salvage protocols, Dr. Sora said without emotion. The planet has good mineral deposits. Rare earth elements, uranium, platinum. We can strip mine everything useful and leave. The humans will be extinct within 2 generations anyway. Kyung-ho made his decision. Contact Mining Director Won-sik. Tell him we have another dead world for his cruise. 2 days later, Won-sik arrived with his mining fleet, massive ships filled with drilling equipment and processing plants. The director was a practical alien who cared only about efficiency and profit. He looked at Earth like a merchant examining fruit at a market. How long until the surface is clear? He asked Kyung-ho. The humans are already dying, the Admiral replied. We don't need to do anything. Just wait and let nature take its course. Maybe 20 years. Won-sik shrugged. Fine. We'll start with the ocean floors and work our way up. The surface mining can wait. He paused, studying the data. What about the survivors? Should we relocate them? Why bother? Dr. Sora interrupted. They're primitives now. They have no technology, no organization, no leadership. Look at them. She displayed images from their surface scans. Small groups of humans wearing ragged clothes, digging through rubble for food. Children playing with sticks and radioactive dust. Adults fighting over clean water with makeshift weapons. In one image, a man named Jinnu led a group of 20 people through the ruins of what used to be Seoul. They carried backpacks made from torn fabric and pushed carts built from shopping trolleys and car parts. Jinnu's face was dirty and thin, his clothes patched with different colored cloth. Another scan showed a woman called Nari working in what looked like a scrapyard. She was taking apart old machines with basic tools, sorting metal pieces into different piles. Her hands were black with grease and her hair was tied back with a piece of wire. See? Dr. Sora pointed at the images. They're scavengers now. No different from the rat creatures we found on Vega Prime. They'll spend their remaining years fighting over scraps until disease or starvation finishes them. What none of the aliens noticed was how organized the scavenging looked. Jinnu's people moved with purpose, not desperation. They followed specific routes through the ruins, collecting particular types of materials. When they found something useful, they made marks on broken walls with chalk. Nari's scrapyard had careful organization too. The metal pieces weren't randomly sorted. Electronics went in one area, structural materials in another, rare metals in a special section covered with plastic sheets. Her tools were crude but well-maintained, and she worked with the focused attention of someone following a plan. In underground tunnels beneath the ruined cities, other humans worked by candlelight. Commander Hyun-soo studied maps spread across a table made from stacked concrete blocks. The maps showed mining operations, patrol routes, and resource locations. But from above, his hideout looked like just another collapsed building. Hyun-soo had been planning for this moment since the first alien ships appeared. He knew that advanced civilizations would see humans as weak and broken. That was exactly what he wanted them to think. Phase 1 is working, he told his lieutenant, a young woman named Yoon-hee. They think we're dying animals. That gives us time to prepare. How long do we have? Yoon-hee asked. Years. Hyun-soo smiled grimly. They'll ignore us until we're ready. Advanced species always make the same mistake. They judge others by their worst moments, not their potential. Above them, the Corvallian mining ships began their work. Massive drills descended from orbit, boring into the ocean floor. Processing stations the size of small cities appeared in Earth's upper atmosphere. The aliens were so focused on extracting wealth that they paid no attention to the dying primitives below. This was humanity's greatest advantage. Every other species the Corvallians had encountered either fought back immediately or surrendered completely. Humans did neither. They appeared to surrender while secretly preparing to fight. Dr. Sora filed her final report on human civilization. Species assessment, post-apocalyptic primitives. Technology level, Stone Age regression. Military capability, none. Threat level, 0. Recommendation, ignore until natural extinction occurs. The report was approved and filed away. The Corvallian Empire had more important things to worry about than a bunch of scavengers playing in radioactive dirt. They had no idea that those scavengers were already planning their downfall. 5 years had passed since the Corvallian mining operations began on Earth. Mining supervisor Dong Huan stood in the control room of Platform 7, watching his crews extract precious metals from the ocean floor. The work went smoothly, just as headquarters expected. Well, mostly smoothly. "Sir, we have another power fluctuation in Section C," reported his assistant, a young Corvallian named Jun Ho. "Third one this week." Dong Huan frowned at the display screen. The fluctuation lasted only a few seconds before the systems returned to normal. Equipment wear, he decided. These old drilling platforms need constant maintenance. Add it to the repair schedule. What Dong Huan didn't know was that the power fluctuation happened exactly when human divers disconnected a data cable from his platform. 30 meters below the ocean surface, Nari and her team worked in stolen diving suits, carefully removing alien technology. Nari had learned to breathe from recycled air tanks built from scavenged materials. Her team could stay underwater for hours, invisible to the alien sensors that only looked for large moving objects. They took small pieces of equipment that wouldn't be missed. A processing chip here, a power cell there, a length of superconductor cable when no one was looking. Got the quantum processor, Nari whispered into her makeshift communicator. Her voice traveled through a network of buried cables to receivers hidden across the planet. Heading to extraction point 7. On the surface, Jinnu received the message while pretending to search for clean water. His scavenging group had grown to include 200 people, all carefully selected for specific skills. They moved through the ruins of Busan, collecting alien technology that Nari's teams brought up from the ocean floor. To any watching aliens, they looked like desperate survivors fighting over scraps. In reality, they were the most sophisticated technology acquisition operation in human history. Team 3, status report. Jinnu spoke quietly into a radio hidden inside what looked like a broken toy. "We've got eyes on the new drilling platform," came the reply. "They're using Mark 7 power cores, same as the ones Dr. Young-min reverse-engineered last month." Dr. Young-min worked in a hidden laboratory built inside a collapsed subway tunnel in Seoul. Above ground, the area looked like a wasteland of twisted metal and broken concrete. Below ground, human scientists had created a research facility that would have impressed engineers on any advanced world. The laboratory ran on power stolen from alien operations. Human technicians had learned to tap into Corvallian energy networks without triggering their detection systems. Every piece of alien equipment that Nari's teams recovered ended up in Young-min's lab for analysis. "Fascinating," Dr. Young-min said as he examined a Corvallian data processor. His assistant, Dr. Mi-young, recorded everything on stolen alien computers. "They use quantum tunneling for faster calculations, but their code structure is inefficient. We can improve this by at least 30%. Dr. Mi-young nodded as she took notes. "What about the power requirements?" "Much lower than they think," Young-min smiled. "Their civilization has been successful for so long that they've forgotten how to innovate under pressure. They build everything with excess capacity because they can afford to waste resources. This was humanity's secret weapon." The Corvallians had never faced real hardship. Their empire was so vast and powerful that they solved problems by throwing resources at them. Humans had learned to solve problems with creativity and efficiency. In underground workshops across Earth, human engineers took apart alien technology and rebuilt it better. They couldn't match the Corvallians' manufacturing capacity, but they could make superior designs. Every piece of equipment was smaller, faster, and more reliable than the original. Commander Hyun-soo coordinated everything from his command center beneath the ruins of Tokyo. His communications network connected hidden bases on every continent. What looked like random groups of survivors were actually military units disguised as refugees. "Report from North America," his communications officer announced. "Team Delta has established contact with the survivors in the Colorado mountains. They have mining engineers who want to join the project." "Excellent," Hyun-soo replied. "What about Europe?" Team Alpha successfully infiltrated the London ruins. They've made contact with the scientists hiding in the old subway system, biochemical weapons specialists. Every day, more humans joined the hidden resistance. People who appeared to be barely surviving were actually highly trained specialists pretending to be helpless. The act was so convincing that even other humans sometimes believed it. Dr. Sora conducted her regular surveys of human populations from orbit. Her scanners showed exactly what she expected to see: declining numbers, primitive technology, increasing desperation. The latest count showed only 40 million humans remaining, scattered in small groups across the planet. "They're dying faster than predicted," she reported to Admiral Kyung-ho. "Radiation sickness, contaminated food, lack of medical care. I estimate complete extinction within 15 years. What her scanners couldn't detect were the humans living in shielded underground cities. The declining population was actually people moving from surface camps to hidden bases. The primitive technology was carefully crafted to look broken, while secretly housing advanced systems. Nari had just finished another equipment theft when her radio crackled. "Package delivered," she reported. Returning to base. Her base was a network of caves connected by human-built tunnels. From the surface, it looked like a natural formation where desperate people might hide from radiation. Inside, it contained manufacturing facilities that produced weapons and equipment using stolen alien technology. The humans had learned something important about their captors. The Corvallians were excellent at using their technology, but terrible at protecting it. Their security systems were designed to stop other advanced civilizations, not primitive scavengers with nothing to lose. "Next target?" Nari asked Jinnu when she returned. "Platform 12, he replied, studying stolen alien blueprints. "They're testing new atmospheric processors. Dr. Young-min wants to see how they work." Mining supervisor Dong Hwan noticed more equipment irregularities that month. Power fluctuations, missing tools, computer glitches that corrected themselves. His reports mentioned these problems, but headquarters dismissed them as normal wear and tear. "These platforms are getting old," his supervisor told him over subspace communication. "Expect more problems as the equipment ages. Just keep the mining quotas up." Nobody in the Corvallian Empire suspected that Earth's dying primitives were systematically stealing their technology and improving it. The idea was impossible. How could Stone Age scavengers understand quantum computers and fusion reactors? But humans had one advantage that no other species possessed. They had learned to innovate under impossible conditions. While the Corvallians built technology in clean laboratories with unlimited resources, humans had spent generations creating solutions in bombed-out cities with nothing but scraps and determination. Every piece of stolen alien technology made humanity stronger. Every successful theft taught them more about their captors' weaknesses. Every day of apparent weakness was actually preparation for war. Commander Hyun-soo looked at the progress reports with satisfaction. Phase 2 was complete. Now it was time to begin Phase 3, becoming invisible. News of the Corvallian fleet's capture spread across the galaxy faster than light itself. Emergency sessions convened on every major world as alien civilizations tried to understand what had happened. The impossible had occurred. A species classified as extinct primitives had defeated one of the galaxy's most powerful military forces. Dr. Sora sat in a comfortable cell aboard the human command ship, staring at data that made no sense. Her captors had given her access to the real human population figures, technological capabilities, and military strength. Every number contradicted everything she thought she knew. 120 million humans, she muttered, reading the reports. Advanced manufacturing, fusion reactors, quantum computers. How did we miss all of this? Commander Hyun-soo entered her cell, carrying a tray of food. The human military leader looked nothing like the dying scavengers she had observed from orbit. He was clean, well-fed, and radiated the confidence of someone who had planned for every possibility. "You missed it because you wanted to miss it," he said, setting the tray down. "Your species has been successful for so long that you've forgotten how to recognize real threats." Dr. Sora looked up at him with confusion. "But our sensors showed declining populations. Primitive technology, Stone Age regression. Our sensors showed you exactly what we wanted them to show," Hyun-soo replied patiently. "We studied your scanning technology for years. We learned to fool it completely." He activated a holographic display that showed Earth's surface. To alien sensors, it still looked like a world inhabited by dying primitives. But Hyun-soo adjusted the display to show what was really there. Massive underground cities connected by tunnel networks that spanned continents. The humans on the surface were actors, he explained. Volunteers who maintained the illusion while our real civilization developed underground. Every piece of scrap metal they collected was actually advanced technology. Every primitive camp was a sophisticated monitoring station. Dr. Sora felt her worldview crumbling. Why didn't you just fight us from the beginning? Because we would have lost, Yinsu said honestly. Your fleet was larger and better equipped than anything we could have built in those first years. So we decided to appear weak while we became strong. The strategy had worked perfectly. While the Corvallians focused on extracting wealth from Earth, humanity had been stealing their technology and improving it. Every mining operation had been infiltrated. Every piece of alien equipment had been studied and enhanced. Engineer Nari's teams had accomplished the impossible. They had taken Corvallian technology and made it better. Human ships were faster, more efficient, and more reliable than their alien counterparts. Human weapons had greater range and accuracy. Human computers processed information at speeds that alien systems couldn't match. The key difference, Nari explained to a group of captured Corvallian engineers, is that you build your technology in comfortable laboratories with unlimited resources. We build ours in crisis situations where failure means death. The Corvallian engineers listened in amazement as Nari described human innovation techniques. Where alien civilizations solved problems by adding more power or bigger components, humans solved them with elegance and efficiency. Your fusion reactors work perfectly under normal conditions, Nari continued. Ours work perfectly under any conditions. Your computers are fast when they have stable power. Ours are fast even when they're being shot at. This was humanity's secret advantage. They had learned to innovate under pressure. Every challenge made them stronger instead of weaker. Admiral Kyung-ho sat in his own comfortable prison, trying to understand how his career had ended in such spectacular failure. Commander Chanwu visited him regularly, not to interrogate but to educate. Your species makes excellent soldiers when everything goes according to plan, Chanwu observed. But you panic when faced with the unexpected. Humans are the opposite. We're at our best when everything goes wrong. But you're primitives, Kyung-ho protested weakly. Your planet was destroyed. Your civilization collapsed. Our planet was damaged, Chanwu corrected. Our civilization adapted. There's a difference. The human commander showed Kyung-ho footage from the underground cities, fast manufacturing centers producing advanced technology, schools where human children learned science and engineering, hospitals where human doctors developed medical techniques that surpassed galactic standards. We didn't collapse, Chanwu explained. We evolved. Your attack made us stronger. Across the galaxy, other alien civilizations watched the human emergence with growing alarm. The Nexhari Confederation called for immediate military action against Earth. The Veltar hegemony proposed nuclear sterilization of the solar system. The Corvallian High Command demanded revenge for their captured fleet. But Earth was ready for them. Dr. Young Min had spent years developing computer viruses specifically designed to infiltrate alien networks. When the first enemy fleets approached Earth's solar system, they found their computers infected with programs that gave humans complete control of their ships. This is Admiral Mi Young of the Terran Defense Force, came the broadcast to the Nexhari fleet. Your ships are under our control. Surrender immediately or we will demonstrate our defensive capabilities. The Nexhari commander tried to regain control of his vessels, but it was impossible. Human viruses had taken over every system. His weapons wouldn't fire, his engines wouldn't respond. His communications were controlled by the enemy. Impossible, he broadcast. Our computer systems are quantum encrypted. No primitive species could break our security. We're not primitive, Admiral Mi Young replied. We just let you think we were. The demonstration that followed shocked the galaxy. Human ships emerged from hidden bases throughout the solar system. Thousands of vessels that had been constructed in secret over decades of apparent weakness. Earth's defensive fleet was larger than most galactic empires' entire military forces. But the humans didn't attack their enemies. Instead, they made an offer that no alien civilization had ever received. This is Commander Hyeon-Soo speaking for Earth, came the broadcast to every alien fleet in the galaxy. We offer you a choice. Join the Terran Collective as equal partners, or continue to underestimate humanity at your own risk. The proposal was unprecedented. Instead of demanding tribute or territory, the humans offered cooperation. They wanted to share their advanced technology with other species. They proposed a galactic government based on merit rather than military strength. Some alien civilizations chose to fight. The Thekfa rebellion that had been threatening the Corvallian Empire suddenly found itself facing human military advisors. The war that should have lasted years ended in months as human strategy and technology proved superior to anything the galaxy had seen. Others chose cooperation. Dr. Sora became one of the first alien scientists to work in human research facilities. She discovered that human laboratories were more advanced than anything her species had ever built. "How do you process information so quickly?" she asked Dr. Youngmin during one of their research sessions. "We learned to think fast because slow thinking got us killed," he replied. "Your species had the luxury of taking time to solve problems. We never did." Mining supervisor Dong Huan found new purpose working with human engineers to develop more efficient extraction methods. Where Corvallian mining destroyed entire planets, human techniques left worlds habitable while extracting even more resources. "You waste nothing," he observed, watching human mining operations. "We can't afford to waste anything," Nari replied. "Efficiency isn't just a preference for us. It's survival." The transformation of galactic civilization happened faster than anyone thought possible. Human technology spread to allied worlds, improving life for billions of aliens. Human medical techniques eliminated diseases that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. Human engineering created transportation networks that connected civilizations like never before. But the greatest change was philosophical. The galaxy learned that strength didn't come from dominating others. It came from turning challenges into opportunities, weaknesses into advantages, and enemies into allies. Admiral Kyung-ho eventually became an ambassador for the new galactic order. In his final report to what remained of the Corvallian government, he wrote, "We observed their ruins and assumed weakness. We saw their struggles and assumed failure. We witnessed their conflicts and assumed chaos. We were wrong about everything. Humans don't just survive adversity, they weaponize it. They don't just adapt to challenges, they transform challenges into opportunities for growth. We thought we were studying a dying species. Instead, we were watching the birth of the galaxy's new leaders. The universe would never be the same. Humanity had emerged from the shadows, not as conquerors but as teachers. They had shown the galaxy that true strength came not from never falling down, but from getting back up stronger than before, and they were just getting started." The emergency message reached Admiral Kyung-ho while he was inspecting the new lunar mining facilities. His communication officer's face appeared on the screen, purple skin pale with worry. "Sir, we have urgent orders from High Command," the officer reported. "The Thekfar rebellion has broken through our defenses in the core sectors. All fleet units are ordered to abandon current operations and report for combat duty." Kyung-ho felt his stomach drop. The Thekfar were the most dangerous military force the Corvallian Empire had ever faced. If they had broken through the core sectors, the Empire itself was in danger. "How long do we have?" he asked. "Fleet departure in 72 hours, sir. High Command wants all resources stripped from non-essential operations." Kyung-ho looked out at Earth through the viewing port. The blue-green planet turned slowly below, still showing the scars of human civilization's collapse. Mining operations covered the surface like a metal rash, extracting everything valuable. "What about Earth?" he asked. "Orders are to sterilize the surface before departure," came the reply. "High Command doesn't want any loose ends that might cause problems later." The Admiral understood. A few million dying primitives weren't worth thinking about normally, but they couldn't risk leaving any potential complications behind. Better to eliminate the humans completely and ensure that Earth remained a dead world. "Prepare the bombardment fleet," Kyung-ho ordered. 200 ships should be enough to glass the entire surface. Mining supervisor Dong Huan objected when he received the sterilization orders. "Sir, surface bombardment might damage the mineral deposits. We could lose billions of credits worth of materials." "The war is more important than mining profits," Kyung-ho replied coldly. "We leave in 72 hours. The surface will be sterilized in 6 hours to ensure no delays." What neither alien realized was that their entire conversation was being monitored by human intelligence networks. Deep underground, Commander Hyun-soo received the warning he had been expecting for years. "Protocol Lazarus is authorized," he announced to his command staff. "All units to battle stations. Phase 4 begins now." Across Earth's underground cities, alarms sounded. But these weren't the panicked alarms of a civilization under attack. They were the measured, purposeful alerts of a military force that had been preparing for this exact moment. Engineer Nari activated the hidden launch systems she had spent years constructing. Across Earth's surface, mountains split open along carefully concealed lines. Ocean floors rose as massive underwater hangars breached the surface. The ruins of human cities moved aside to reveal shipyards that had been hidden for decades. Dr. Youngmin's manufacturing centers went into overdrive. The weapons and ships that had been stored in underground facilities for years were powered up and brought online. Systems that had been tested in secret were finally activated for real combat. Admiral Kyung-ho stood on his flagship's bridge, watching his bombardment fleet take position around Earth. 200 Corvallian warships arranged themselves in a perfect sphere around the planet, ready to reduce its surface to molten glass. "All ships report ready," his tactical officer announced. "Bombardment can begin on your command." Kyung-ho raised his hand to give the order. Then he stopped. Something was wrong with his sensors. "What are those readings?" he asked, staring at his displays. "Unknown contacts rising from the planet's surface in Kao," the tactical officer replied, confusion clear in his voice. "Massive energy signatures. They appear to be ships?" The first wave of human spacecraft emerged from their hidden launchers like dragons rising from the Earth. These weren't the crude vessels that primitive species usually cobbled together from stolen technology. They were sleek, deadly machines that moved with purpose and grace. Nari led the first squadron personally, piloting a ship she had designed herself. The vessel was smaller than the Corvallian warships, but faster and more maneuverable. Its weapons were built using alien technology enhanced with human innovation. "All squadrons attack Pattern Alpha," she broadcast to the human fleet. "Remember, we want them alive if possible." The psychological impact on the Corvallian fleet was immediate and devastating. Admiral Kyung-ho watched in horror as hundreds of advanced spacecraft emerged from what he had thought was a dead world. His sensors showed power signatures that exceeded his own ship's capabilities. "Impossible," Dr. Sora whispered from her station. "The humans are extinct. They're primitives. They don't have technology." But the evidence was undeniable. Earth had just revealed a space fleet that rivaled anything the Corvallian Empire could field. Every assumption about human capabilities had been wrong. Commander Chan-woo's boarding parties launched from the human fleet in small, fast assault craft. These ships were designed specifically for capturing enemy vessels intact. They used electromagnetic pulse weapons to disable Corvallian systems without causing permanent damage. "Target their command ships first," Chan-woo ordered his strike teams. "We need their commanders alive for interrogation." The Corvallian fleet tried to fight back, but they were completely unprepared for human tactics. Their weapons were designed for battles between similar civilizations using predictable strategies. The humans fought like nothing they had ever encountered. Human ships moved in ways that should have been impossible. They changed direction instantly, accelerated beyond safe limits, and coordinated their attacks with perfect precision. Corvallian pilots who had trained in peaceful academies found themselves outmaneuvered by humans who had learned to fly in life-or-death situations. "Sir, we're being boarded," reported Kyung-ho's security chief. "Unknown hostiles are cutting through our hull." "Impossible," the admiral replied. "Our shields are still active." "They're using some kind of phase technology," came the panicked response. "Our defenses can't stop them." Commander Chan-woo led the boarding party onto Kyung-ho's flagship personally. His assault troops moved through the ship with practiced efficiency, using non-lethal weapons to subdue the crew. They had trained for this scenario hundreds of times in underground facilities. When Chan-woo reached the bridge, he found the Corvallian command crew huddled behind their stations. Admiral Kyung-ho stood defiantly in the center, his forearms spread wide in a gesture of challenge. "You will not take this ship," the admiral declared. "I will activate the self-destruct first." Chan-woo removed his helmet, revealing a scarred human face. "Admiral Kyung-ho, I presume? I am Commander Chan-woo of the Terran Defense Force. We accept your surrender." "Surrender?" Kyung-ho was confused. "You're human. How is this possible?" "It's possible because you never bothered to learn what humans are actually capable of," Chan-woo replied calmly. "We've been preparing for this moment since the day you arrived." Dr. Sora stared at the human commander in shock. This couldn't be real. Humans were extinct. They were primitives. Her surveys had confirmed it. "The humans on the surface," she whispered. "The declining populations. The primitive technology, an act," Chan-woo said simply. "We showed you exactly what you expected to see. You wanted to believe we were weak and dying, so that's what we pretended to be." Across Earth's orbital space, the battle was ending with stunning speed. The Corvallian fleet hadn't been destroyed. It had been captured almost intact. Human boarding parties had taken control of ship after ship, using tactics and technology that the aliens couldn't counter. Commander Hyun-Soo's voice echoed across all communication channels as he broadcast from his command ship. "This is Commander Hyun-Soo of Earth. To all Corvallian personnel, you have been defeated, but you have not been harmed. Surrender now, and you will be treated according to galactic conventions." Admiral Kyung-ho looked around his captured bridge, trying to understand what had happened. "You were supposed to be extinct," he said weakly. "We were supposed to appear extinct," Chanwoo corrected. "There's a difference. Humans learned long ago that sometimes the best strategy is to let your enemies underestimate you." The revelation was complete. Earth's dying primitive civilization had revealed itself to be the most advanced military force in the solar system. Every assumption the Corvallians had made about human capabilities had been deliberately crafted deception, and this was only the beginning.